Hey folks, it's Mitch Garvers. Welcome back. I'm here with Stephane Tartaglia, one of the greatest sidekicks in the history of this podcast. You have really surpassed beyond measure everyone else who's ever been on this channel so far.
I'm the only person who's been on this channel.
Do you want to take a compliment?
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
So, we were talking before about what time of year is cigar smoking season. When is cigar season for you? When does it start? When does it end?
Every season is cigar season. Just because it's cold out doesn't mean you can't smoke a cigar. Just because it's hot out doesn't mean you can't smoke a cigar.
If I look at this cigar over here, this is easily a 2-hour cigar. Are you telling me that I should go outside and smoke this cigar when it's 5, 10, 25 degrees below zero?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so what are you talking about?
I'm talking about, let's take winter.
Sure.
It's minus 15 degrees Celsius outside. You really want a cigar. You can't smoke at home. You go for a Petit Corona, something along these lines.
And that is a Rafael Gonzalez?
That'll take you 20 minutes to
half
smoke.
an hour.
You put a pair of gloves on, put a hat on your head, put a hood over your head.
Put your buttocks on.
You can enjoy a cigar, a short cigar, come back in, warm up. That is a winter cigar. We have another one here. This is a Cuban Polaranaga. Another one, this is probably a half an hour, 35 minutes. -5 you could smoke this at. As we get into warmer weather, spring, fall, we have a nice Cohiba. This is a number 4?
I think that's a Siglo 4.
Siglo 4. 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Maybe an hour.
An hour if you smoke slowly.
Yeah.
You know, you could do that. Then we get into summertime.
I should tell you, by the way, that people smoke cigars at different paces. If I start the same cigar as Gilbert Lutz, our buddy Gibby, and we're smoking the same cigar, we light it at the exact same time, I think he's finished the cigar by the time I'm starting to get to the second, third.
Yeah. No, he's a fast smoker.
I think he's a vacuum cleaner in another life.
If we head on to the summertime, when you can spend as much time as you want outside, then why not light up a big fatty? Here we got a nice Bolivar, double torpedo,
or a Perfecto.
A Perfecto, and you're going to get a good hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes out of that cigar, and you're going to be able to enjoy it from beginning to end because the weather is nice.
Now let's take a look at that cigar next to this cigar. Pull that cigar out again for a
Here
minute.
we go.
Weepy, weepy, weepy. No. These are two decent cigars. I would say both excellent cigars, actually. And you're going to get different tastes and different notes. But this one here, the Rafi Gonzalez, is a 20-minute cigar, maybe a 30-minute cigar. Bolivar, 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe even 2 hours.
So you can pick your cigar depending on the weather. Now, just because a cigar is small does not make it worse than a larger cigar. This can have as much flavor or more than a much larger cigar.
That's right. And a large bad cigar is nowhere near as good as a small good cigar.
No.
Now, I work at a company where I'm given time to go for lunch. Now, I can spend an hour at a restaurant, or I can have a quick lunch and then go outside on a nice day and smoke a cigar. Whether it's 20 degrees below zero or 20 degrees above zero, I'm still going to want to have a smaller cigar because I do have that limited time frame.
Absolutely.
So if you know that you are going to spend an afternoon, evening working in your magnificent shop here turning wood, you light up a cigar. Are you going to light a 20-minute cigar?
I'm going to light a 2-hour cigar.
And maybe a second one.
And maybe a second one. And you know what? If I only want one cigar and I've got 4 hours, I may light up this cigar. Which, by the way, was rolled in my shop by a good friend of mine, Sam Mercier.
Sam is going to we're going to have to get him on camera because he's one of the good guys.
He's one of the good guys. We will get him in here for sure.
So I see a lot of different cigars here. We have custom rolls by Alejandro. We have Bolivar's Diplomaticos. Is this a Ramon Alones? This is, now let's talk about these three. We have the Diplomatico. This has a single band.
Yes.
Single bands are usually standard production cigars. That is a Dip 2, as we call it. The
Yes.
Diplomatico Torpedo
One of my
2.
favorite Cuban
It is
cigars.
a spectacular Cuban cigar. Very similar, although probably a little bit lighter than a Monte Cristo number 2, which would be identical in size.
A little bit lighter, lots of nuts.
Yes. And we smoked one of those together a few weeks ago.
We did.
And it was fabulous.
Fabulous. It even had a hint of mint at the end.
Exactly, and I remember that. Now then we can go on to, let's pick this one, which is a Joya de Monterrey Epicure Deluxe, and it's got 2 bands on it. 1 band, 2 bands. Now, the 2 bands originally denoted that this was going to be a limited edition cigar.
Limited edition, often exported.
So this particular one is a limited edition from La Casa del Habanos, which means you can only buy it at the LCDH in Cuba. But if we look at this Bolivar, this one says Exclusiva de 50 Avenida, or 5th Avenue. Now, we all think of 5th Avenue as being in New York City,
Right.
but it's not well known outside of cigar circles that 5th Avenue in Havana is in a district called Miramar, and that's where a lot of the embassies are. So the Canadian embassy, and you can drive down 5th Avenue in Havana, and all of the embassies are there, and that is a specific cigar for that. But we have a different kind of double band. Now this particular one is a Ramon Alones Edición Limitada 2015. And that means for every year, the Habanos Corporation puts out limited edition cigars that are only going to be available for that year. And some of them are hits and some of them are misses. For example, the Trinidad Topez for 2016 was one of the most sought after cigars, and they were absolutely spectacular. On the other hand, some of them less wonderful.
What we are missing here are the limited edition regionals.
Aha! And we don't have one here. I may be able to pull one out of my humidor later on, but you're right. Some of them will be regional Canada. In fact,
Regional Belgique.
regional Benelux, regional Asia Pacific, regional.
Where a Cuban cigar will be specifically rolled and banded for a particular country.
And will only be exported to that country.
Yeah.
Now, we have kind of, over the last few years, lost the allure of double bands just because a lot of companies are now making double-banded cigars for their regular production.
Correct.
And I think that kind of diminishes the value, but it's marketing and it works for them. Now over here we have something special. This is a cigar that is triple banded. And if we look here, the first band says Monte Cristo de Habana. The second band says 80th Aniversario or 80 Aniversario, the 80th anniversary of the Monte Cristo cigar. And there's a third band here, which is a little different. It's written by hand and it's pure white, and it says SEA May 17, which I'm willing to bet is the box code. Now, a lot of us who trade cigars, a lot of us who collect cigars, will keep these bands, which you can buy very inexpensively from either CanadaHumidor.com or any reasonable cigar accessory outfitter, and we will put these on and we will mark down either the box code or who gave it to us, or if we're gifting it to someone else, we'll write from Mitch to Stephane and we'll put it on that so that when we smoke that cigar, we know where it came from, what the pedigree is,
Who gave it to us.
who gave it to us, what occasion it was given it on. We can literally write anything we want on that. So this isn't really a triple banded cigar. It's a double banded cigar with an extra label on it. And these labels come in very handy sometimes. Now, let's look at a different kind of cigar. This one here, which is only Fuente is Fuente. So that's an Arturo Fuente cigar, Chateau Fuente King. Now, if I were to try to punch this cigar, now that's not working. Let me try to cut this cigar.
I think we're losing Mitch.
Okay, that's not going to work either. What's going on here?
What we have here is what's called a tubos.
Tubos, by the way, is the Spanish word for tube, in case you are from the moon or something.
Very often, cigars will be packed in tuboses. They call it tuboses, and it's a single cigar packed in a tube with the famous cedar liner, which you can use to light your cigar with. And it's a way to protect the cigar, it's a way to sell a single cigar without it being damaged, and it's also a way for them to present their artwork.
And you'll notice that the artwork on that individual cigar is a lot more ornate than you could possibly put onto
A band.
a band. Now, don't get me wrong. There are companies out there that make full cigar sleeve bands
Yes.
that do put artwork on those, but it's really,
Pain in the butt.
that's not what I was going to say, but actually a very good point. And the reality is, these are just different ways of marketing and increasing our marketing footprint. Now, you're pulling out another cigar that's also in a tubo, but it's in a different tube.
This is in a clear tube.
A clear tube, and this is a hard, it's not glass, but it is a hard tube, and you'll notice that at the bottom it is sealed, and there is a string with another piece of marketing hanging off of that, and you will know that this is a sealed cigar that is very well protected, and it's meant to look a little more exclusive and a lot easier to hand to someone. The tubos are great if you're not immediately putting a cigar into any case. Now, we've talked about these brilliant tubes that will protect your cigar, but if you're not walking around with one of these and you're not walking around with a Herfador and somebody hands you a cigar, you put it in your pocket. If it's just a naked cigar,
You're going to destroy your cigar.
you're going to destroy your cigar. If it's in a tubo,
You're safe.
you're safe.
Now the difference between a tubo and this, which I call a traveling cigar case, which holds one cigar, is this will not hold the humidity. It will not protect your cigar from drying out over a long period of time. This is simply for you get up in the morning, you're going to go out, have one cigar, you pop it in here, it protects the cigar, you smoke it that day. If you don't smoke it that day, you take your cigar out at the end of the day and you put it back in your humidor. The tuboses, is that a word?
Tubos.
Tubos. The tubos is generally sealed and will protect your cigar and keep it humidified for a much longer period of time. So if you were to take it out, leave it in your desk drawer for a week, then pop it open and smoke it, your cigar is most likely going to be just fine.
Now, the difference between this tubo and this tubo, the clear tubo, is hermetically sealed.
Yeah.
So this will hold it in differently from that one, but the metal tubo, the non-clear one, will have the Spanish cedar that
Yes.
will protect it as well.
Absolutely.
Now, let me be very clear. If you are going to put it in your desk drawer for a week, you're fine. If you're going to take it on vacation for a week or 10 days, you're fine. If you're not going to smoke them long term, make sure they're still in your humidor.
They absolutely have to be in the humidor.
Absolutely, because even though it will protect you for longer, it will not protect you long term.
No. And that is a subject for another video. We will talk about storing your cigars.
That is a great point. And we have so many different ways of doing it. You've built one for me, you're building another one for me, you've built some spectacular humidors, but we're going to talk about them later on. So, let me ask you another question.
Yes.
We have the single bands, the double bands, the triple bands, the quadruple bands, the entire cigar length band. We've got the tubos. Does one make for a better cigar than another?
Absolutely not.
Why not?
The cigar is what makes the cigar. Storage conditions will also change the quality, not the quality, well, the quality of the cigar and the taste of a cigar. But whether you have one band or two bands or three bands, the cigar is going to taste the same.
So in other words, the tubo, clear or otherwise, is really marketing more than anything else.
It is marketing.
A really great television commercial doesn't make a product better. It may make it more appealing.
It makes it more appealing.
Okay. Now,
Marketing.
you will notice here that my cigar has started to peter out, and I think that should be the subject of another video to follow this on. What do you think?
I think so too, because I've had to relight my cigar once already.
All right, so why don't we say goodbye to the nice folks who should be working, and we'll come back in a few minutes. For Stephane Tattaglia, I'm Mitch Garvis, and thanks for watching.